Yes, guys, Pixar is back with a new animated film, and this time it's a prequel to perhaps one of the better and most favored Pixar films. Hey guys, what's up? It's all about Mike 18 here with another movie review. Guys, I am not afraid to admit that I proudly waited in my theater today in line to get tickets to go see this movie. I was dying to go see this movie for one reason. I'll get to that reason in a second. And that movie is Monsters University. Yes, guys, I was looking forward to seeing Monsters University today, opening day. And I know some of you that watch my movie reviews are surprised that I'm reviewing an animated film, because this is actually the first animated film that I have reviewed on my channel since I started my channel back in 2012. I haven't seen an animated movie, a new animated movie, and reviewed it on my channel till now. So this is, I guess, pretty big, but I really don't watch too many animated films nowadays. You guys know me. I'm more of the action and the drama and the horror film type of guy. And most of the animated films nowadays, they just don't look that good. Like, they look kind of dumb, and they're obviously for the kids. The kids will enjoy them, but for me, they just don't look that appealing. However, there is one animated film studio that always releases animated films. They release at least one each year, and I will always, except for a few times, go see their movies because I'm a big fan of this animated film studio. And that film studio is Pixar. Yes, guys, I am a big Pixar fan. As probably some of you know, in my opinion, I think Pixar is the best animated film company of all time. I don't think there's any animated film company that could ever top them or ever did. I love Pixar, except for Bug's Life, Cars and Cars 2, and Brave. I've seen every other Pixar film, and I've loved all of those Pixar films I didn't mention. Loved them. Absolutely loved them. Some of them are on my top 10 list of the best animated films of all time. I think almost all of them actually are on my top 10 list, except for those four I didn't mention. I didn't see them for reasons I'm not going to go into. But anyway, so Pixar is giving us Monsters University, the prequel to Monsters, Inc., which came out, like 11 or 12 years ago? Can you believe that? That's what I love what Pixar does. They did the same thing with Toy Story and Toy Story 3. They did the same thing with Monsters, Inc., with Monsters University. And now they're going to do the same thing with Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. But talking about Monsters University, guys, first with Monsters, Inc., it's a Pixar film I really enjoyed. It was a really good movie. And it wasn't one of my favorites. Like, I like Finding Nemo and maybe Up and Toy Story 3 and WALL-E, maybe a little bit more in The Incredibles. But Monsters, Inc. was still an excellent film. I thought it was inventive and creative, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. I watched it growing up, and I always wanted some other another Monsters, Inc. related film. I don't care if it was a reboot or a sequel or a prequel. I didn't care what it was. I wanted another Monsters, Inc. film. And we got that today with Monsters University. So guys, I want to get right into the story behind Monsters University. I'll quickly sum it up without spoiling. I'll get into the rest of the review. So guys, with Monsters University, we have our two main characters from the first Monsters, Inc. Mike Wazowski and James P. Sullivan, who we grew to love, who we grew to know and love in the first Monsters, Inc. They are back for Monsters University, and this time, since this is a prequel, the events of this movie takes place, or actually the events of this movie leads up to the events of Monsters, Inc. And the movie centers on Mike Wazowski. Actually, Mike Wazowski is essentially the main character in this movie. It's focusing on Mike this time, and it shows him when he was this little green ball with the little eye. He was on a field trip. In the beginning of the movie, he's on a field trip with the rest of his monster class, and they go to Monsters, Inc. For the day. And ever since that field trip, he promises to himself that he will one day grow up to become a scarer, and he will attend the famous scarer college, Monsters University. So, fast forward, Mike is now grown up. He's like 17 years old, and he attends Monsters University. He's ready to become a scarer. That is his main goal. He attends the scarer program for the college, and while he's in the scarer program, he meets James P. Sullivan, or Sully, from the first Monsters, Inc., who will eventually become his best friend and his partner, like we saw in the events of Monsters, Inc. And the both of them are trying. At first, they didn't like each other in the beginning of this movie, which is something I liked. They were kind of rivals, and now they need to rely on each other towards the end of the movie to achieve their goal of becoming what they always wanted to be, and that is scarers. And as we all know, the scarers for the Monsters Inc. movies, you have these monsters that they go through these doors into the human world, and they scare children to get like scare energy, and they use that to fuel their world, their monster world. And I always love that idea, and that is of course shown again in this. And that's basically the whole plot behind Monsters University, guys. It's just showing these two characters trying to become scarers when they were in college, in Monsters University. They attend the best scare in college. And that's for the story, guys. I was looking for it to be inventive and creative, just like Pixar's other films that we know and love. And I think I got that with this movie. There are some things, new things that we get to see in this world of Monsters, Inc. And I was very pleased with that. We get to see at the actual university itself, seeing all the programs. I thought that was really cool. They have the program for scarers. They have the program for creating the doors to get into the human world. They have the program for creating those little yellow capsules that holds the scare energy. I thought all that was very creative and inventive and really, really cool on Pixar's part. And we also get to see all these new characters, all these college students and professors. And I really thought that was cool to invent all these new characters for this movie, and I always love how Pixar does that. Anyway, guys, moving on to the voice cast. I want to talk about the voice cast really briefly. We have Billy Crystal back voicing Mike Wazowski, and John Goodman back voicing Sully. And I loved having they got the two voice actors back. I loved them in the first Monsters, Inc., and I was glad that they brought them back for this. Great voice actors, great actors in general, and glad to see them back in Monsters, Inc. Another character and voice actor who they brought back from the first Monsters, Inc., and I loved that, how they did this. They brought back Randall from the first Monsters, Inc., who was like the nemesis to Mike and Sully in that movie, and he's voiced by Steve Buscemi again in this. I was glad they brought him back. Good to see him again. Like, he's attending college at the same time Mike and Sully are. They're all freshmen at college, and I thought that was great. I mean, just seeing these characters back on the big screen again in Monsters University, it just put a smile on my face. Anyway, guys, Helen Mirren is a new addition to the voice cast. She voices the dean of the university, and I thought she was great. Good addition. And of course, another voice actor who is Pixar's good luck charm. He's in all the Pixar films. He voices at least one character in every Pixar film. That is John Ratzenberger. He is back for Monsters University. He makes a brief appearance in the end. I really like what they did with his character in the end of the movie, but not going to spoil anything, of course. Anyway, guys, getting into this movie's rating. It's rated G. Do I really have to get into anything? It's for all audiences. There's nothing bad with this movie. It's for everyone to go see. So I think I'm going to jump into the rating, guys, for this movie. The rating I'm going to give for this film. Now, I'm going to do something a little different for this video. I'm going to give 2 ratings for Monsters University. I've never done that before. I'm going to give a rating for me, my personal rating, and I'm going to give a rating for the kids. My personal rating for Monsters University is an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun and entertaining. I'll get into why I gave it an 8 out of 10 in a second. The rating I'm going to give this movie for the kids, if you are a kid going to see this movie, the rating I will give it for you is a 9.5 out of 10, meaning that every kid that at least saw the first Monsters Inc. should go see this movie. And this is the movie. It's for all audiences. All audiences should love this movie. I enjoyed it, but the audience, the group of the audience that will love it the most are the kids. The kids are gonna love the hell out of this movie, and I'll tell you why. I went to the theater opening day. It was packed as hell. Most of the audience that was in the movie were kids, parents with their kids. And I was amazed at how many scenes the kids were laughing and clapping and cheering. And these are these young little kids that really are trying to enjoy this animated film, and they just did. There was this one part in the movie, this really happy moment occurred in the movie. These 2 little girls that were sitting a little bit above me, they got out of their seats in the middle of the aisle as the rest of the audience was like clapping and cheering. They started dancing around and cheering for what was going on in the movie. and clapping. And at that point, I said to myself, wow, you know, Pixar really still has it in them to make not only good animated movies for all audiences, but especially for the kids. Because they can still get their kids to watch, they can still get the kids to watch these movies and enjoy the hell out of them. Thumbs up to Pixar for accomplishing that. And that's why I'm giving this movie a rating for the kids. They will love the hell out of it. Parents, your kids will love it. I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10 for them. For me, getting back to my rating, 8 out of 10. I enjoyed this movie. Guys, is it as good as Monsters, Inc.? No. Is it as good as some of the other Pixar films? Probably not. But it is still a great Pixar film. It's Pixar, guys. Should you ever doubt them? Maybe a few cases you should doubt them, like with Brave and Cars, the Cars movies, even though I didn't see them. But with Monster University, don't doubt them for a second. It's a great film in my opinion. Even though, like, in a way, it kind of feels like it should have never been made. I'm glad it was made because I still enjoyed it. Guys, the things I loved about Monster University, the story was great, well written, very creative and inventive, just like all the stories for the Pixar films are. All the Pixar films, I always feel they have a lot of heart to them, and Monster University definitely has that with this. It's definitely sweet in a few moments. I love the opening scene in this movie. I thought it was really cute and very sweet, and I really love that. There were a lot of those moments in this movie. The voice cast was great. The animation, do I even have to get into it? The animation for the Pixar movies are always the best. The Pixar movies always look the best with the animation. There's always so many beautiful colors. The character designs, they always look so good. The animation looks excellent. And with Monsters University, it's no difference. The animation is beautiful. The short film that is played before this movie, you always know how Pixar releases a short film before they show you the movie. The short film is called The Blue Umbrella. I seriously thought it was a live-action 5-minute commercial. That is how real and how vivid the short film looked. It really looked like a live-action 5-minute short film. It really did. That's how good the colors were in that film. The short film itself was okay, but the animation blew me away in that short film that was called The Blue Umbrella. That was really great. Leave me your thoughts down below on that. But anyway, guys, getting back to a few other things I enjoyed about the movie. I laughed a few times in the movie, and two other things I really enjoyed. Pixar's film references to their other movies, otherwise known as their Easter eggs. I pointed out a few of them in this movie, and I love doing that with all the Pixar films, pointing out the Easter eggs, and that was great having to do that again with Monsters University. And if you have watched the other Pixar films, you know what I'm talking about. You know what the Easter eggs are, so I'm glad to have that again in this movie. That just made me really happy to see that again. And this movie also has a lot of references to Monsters, Inc., which is another reason why I enjoyed it. There are characters, even though they come back for a brief appearance, that those characters are in this movie that were in Monsters, Inc. I love seeing that. There are settings that are, obviously, there are references to Monsters, Inc. in this movie, and I always loved it. I love that with this film. This film reminds me of how good it is and how great Monsters, Inc. was, and how great a film that was. So, that's really it for all the things I enjoyed about Monsters University, guys. As for a few complaints I have, a few scenes felt a little rushed, even though the movie's like 110 minutes. They gotta keep it going, because it's really long, which I don't mind. But a few things felt rushed in a few scenes. I would have liked them to show this one scene in particular. I'm not going to get into it. And the other thing with Monsters University that I thought was iffy was the humor. Most of the jokes in the movie are funny, like for the most part, but then there's a good chunk of them that just didn't make me laugh or smile, really. But those jokes are for the kids, because the kids were laughing at the jokes that I didn't laugh at. So the kids will enjoy it. But I lowered the score a little bit because the humor, it was there, but it just didn't make me laugh, because it's not for me. It's for the kids. And that was how it was for most of the older audience members. They weren't laughing in those kinds of scenes. But, that'll make the kids enjoy it. So, that's really it, guys. That's it for my review of Monster University. 8 out of 10 for me, 9.5 out of 10 for the kids. Guys, you know what? It's a fun and entertaining film. While it's not as good as Monsters, Inc., it's still a really enjoyable movie, and I enjoyed it. It put a smile to my face in a few scenes, and in the end, it just made me appreciate how great a film studio Pixar is. So 8 out of 10, guys. I highly recommend it. I definitely recommend it. You should watch it in the theaters. I didn't see it in 3D, so I won't be talking about it in 3D. And I would buy it on Blu-ray, definitely, because it's Pixar, and I just love Pixar's movies and their works of art. And these movies are big works of art. So that's basically it, guys, for Monsters University. Thank you for watching. What did you think of the movie? Let me know down below. Did you enjoy the references, the Easter eggs, seeing these characters back? Did you have fun? I definitely had fun in the movie. I enjoyed it, and another great addition to Pixar's films. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the movie. Hope you enjoyed my review. Bye, guys.